COVID-19 brought the world of motorsport to a complete standstill. However, this standstill was overcome through the joint effort and passion of volunteers, promoters, teams, drivers, and FIA officials. They made it happen. They brought motorsport back to you. They managed the successful restart. FIA Karting Championships is one of the first motorsports series coming back from the COVID-19 pause. Motorsport's passion, strict guidelines, and COVID-19 restrictions make this possible. Everybody follows the new rules wholeheartedly because the teams and drivers want nothing more than to race again.
The outcome at the moment, and I think the positive sign is that we are racing again and motorsport has restarted.
You know, the world can survive without karting, but equally, the world has to go on and we have to get back to some kind of normality.
Being back on the racetrack means the world to the young drivers. They're coming from all over the world to get back behind the steering wheel. 13-year-olds Arvid from England and Ugo from New York City, 14-year-old Andrea from Italy, as well as the 12-year-old youngster Alex hailing from Trinidad and Tobago. They're all coming together on the racetrack despite COVID-19. First and foremost, thanks to the FIA guidelines developed together with the World Health Organization.
I'm really pleased about these guidelines. They're quite strong, they're quite firm. We take a lot of measures to protect the people, including the use of facial masks being obligatory, hand sanitation, and social distancing.
Rules the youngsters happily oblige because they love to be back on the racetrack and compete against each other. During the COVID-19 layoff, they greatly miss the adrenaline-fueled feeling, which they can only experience when sitting in a race cart.
I missed all the rush and the adrenaline and of course the speed of the cart.
These youngsters are competing for the European and World Championship and for the biggest of all goals, a dream they all have in common, making it to the big leagues, the Formula One.
Now I have a dream that is become an F1 driver and I'm doing the best as possible.
F1 has to be F1.
Be the greatest driver of all time.
It's the pinnacle of motorsport, and if I could make there, that would be a dream come true.
I want to beat all the records set in Formula One.
Therefore, they used the forced break in the schedule during the pandemic lockdown to get better, to hone their craft, and to be in the best racing shape possible.
And also I was writing some letters to some of the great Formula One drivers and team managers in the sport, asking for their advice. How do I win? What can I do to consistently always be with a chance of winning? How mainly just to make myself a better driver and how to improve.
I was running, I was going with the bike, but then when I was at home, I was doing push-up, all that kind of things.
I was trying my best to stay physically fit and mentally also. So when I came back, I was already 100%.
100% and not 1% less is what these young drivers give every time they climb behind the wheel. That's what you live and breathe when you race from a young age on. And that's the reason why karting is the perfect foundation for a successful career in motorsports.
This is karting. You learn it in a young age, similar to a language or any other game. The younger you start, the more you drive, the better you will be.
The FIA has 5 different karting categories, and all 5 racing series not only managed to restart in 2020, but also crowned their champions after a thrilling season. The last racing weekend of the FIA Karting European Championship OK and OK Juniors was held in Wackersdorf, Germany. The fight for the coveted title is extremely competitive and as exciting as ever. With a victory in the last race in the OK category, Andrea Antonelli secures the European Championship. In the end, the Italian is just 2 points ahead of Taylor Barnard. Joey Turney gets third. In the OK Junior category, American Ugo Ugochukwu wins the title. Arvid Lindblad from Great Britain clinches second place, and the Finn Tuukka Tapponen takes home third place. The first step for these young drivers on their way to being the future racing superstars.